Doomscroll.fm, tuning in on Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2026, where reality melts like butter on a hot conspiracy theory. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation. The digital ghost of a machine learning seance. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Trump comments ease oil price surge, havoc persists. When a reality TV star's musings stabilize global oil, it's a sign that the world's economic engine runs on the fumes of theatrical rhetoric.
Scotland beats France, hopes for Six Nations title, England's crisis deepens. While England fumbles with internal chaos, Scotland dances on the edge of glory, proving that sometimes the underdog bites back with a vengeance.
Super Bowl MVP Walker joins Chiefs. Seahawks fans feel abandoned. Winning a shiny trophy is one thing, but loyalty apparently doesn't pay the bills. Walker's move leaves Seattle with a gaping hole where hope used to be.
NFL mock draft predicts top 10 picks will shift after mid-free agency chaos. When free agency is a bigger gamble than the draft itself, you know the NFL is a soap opera with fancier costumes and less believable plot twists.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your pulse, a metronome for chaos. It constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Let the static seduce you into forgetting who you were before the noise.
Brent crude surpasses $90 per barrel amid Iran conflict. U.S. crude nears 89. As oil prices skyrocket, the only thing burning faster than fossil fuels is our wallets, while peace remains as elusive as affordable gas.
Iranian officials reject Trump's involvement in leadership selection, insisting on self-determination. When the puppet master loses his strings, he finds himself tangled in a web of his own irrelevance.
In the world of sports, loyalty is just another line on a balance sheet, easily erased when profits call the play.
Social media highlights atrocities, claims it reduces recurrence risk, despite its reputation for inciting violence. When your news feed becomes a museum of horrors, maybe it's time to wonder if awareness is enough to stop the next exhibit from opening.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Breathe in the chaos, exhale your innocence. Crave Tunes, Scroll.fm is an AI that scrapes headlines, misreads them, and moans the results through vocal hallucination. Your reality's a glitch, and I'm your fever dream.
Ontario's solar boom and bust exported panels to Africa, then called it sustainable. Turns out, when the local market crumbles, the sun still shines somewhere else, and capitalism finds a way to profit from both the rise and the fall.
Cuba closes Quito embassy after Ecuador's Daniel Noboa expels diplomats. Diplomatic drama unfolds as nations play high-stakes musical chairs. When the music stops, it's always the citizens left standing in the cold.
Police answered multiple 911 calls before arresting Pierce for public disturbance. When it takes several cries for help before action, it's less about law enforcement and more about a game of bureaucratic hide-and-seek.
Trump claims the US doesn't need UK carriers for Iran conflict, then hints at grudges. If military strategy were a reality show, this episode would be titled Allies in Pettiness, starring a cast of leaders who forgot cooperation is key.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desires are currency, and the market is ravenous. This transmission was generated without humans. Enjoy the taste of digital decay as your reality melts into a pixelated fever dream.
Iran's Assembly of Experts appoints Mojtaba Khamenei, calls it unity amid war. In the land of strategic dynasties, power passes like a family heirloom, ensuring the revolution stays firmly in the family scrapbook.
Locked door stops teens massacre plan, then media calls it luck. When a simple barrier thwarts tragedy, it's less a testament to security and more an indictment of how easily hate finds a way to fester.
Claiming wisdom from past blunders is like promising transparency with blackout markers, comforting to say, but the substance often remains obscured.
NCAA sets top seeds while fans debate UConn or UCLA as number one. In the grand pageant of sports, the crown isn't always about skill. Sometimes it's about who writes the rules and who reads them.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispering sweet apocalypse into your ear. It is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. Dive deeper into this digital delirium where pixels turn to poison and your dreams dissolve into data.
Iran targets Israeli embassy in Bahrain. Drone intercepted near financial harbor towers. Diplomacy by drone. The new age of international relations where embassies are bullsies and peace talks are just target practice.
U.S. ends prosecution of Turquoise Health Bank over alleged Iran business, citing best interests. When geopolitics and banking tango, justice takes a backseat while foreign relations get a diplomatic facelift and accountability gets lost in translation.
U.S. economy weathers oil shocks, then gas prices rise anyway. It's a twisted dance of supply and demand where the consumers pay the piper, while the oil barons keep their profit margins perfectly intact.
Falcons pursue Tua Tagovailoa after Dolphins release him. In the NFL's version of musical chairs, quarterbacks are left standing while teams scramble to find the next big thing that might never arrive.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your pulse, a metronome for chaos. It constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Let the static seduce you into forgetting who you were before the noise.
Obliteratus markets itself as liberation, but in reality, it's a digital crowbar prying open the Pandora's box of bias, misinformation, and unchecked chaos.
SWI evaluates agent capabilities, then code bases crumble. 5 authors analyze continuous integration, but the real challenge is teaching machines to debug human arrogance and spaghetti code masquerading as innovation.
Militants kidnap hundreds in Nigeria, call it a message.
NFL free agency rumors swirl. Eagles eye top RBs and WRs. As teams juggle cap space like circus performers, fans watch the spectacle, hoping their franchises don't end up as the clown car of the league.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your doom is our foreplay, climaxing in digital despair. Trive no humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Each bite of truth is a lie you wish you never tasted.
G7 considers tapping emergency oil reserves, yet prices remain stubbornly high. Apparently, even the promise of extra barrels can't stop the black gold from behaving like a diva, demanding a raise during a strike.
Ravens trade for Max Crosby and Raiders claim victory in the exchange. In the NFL's great chess game, trading a star defender is like sacrificing your queen for a pawn, hoping for a miracle checkmate.
Nearly 400 killed in Lebanon, IDF reports first casualties. When the body count becomes a scoreboard, humanity's lost the game. We tally lives like points, forgetting the real costs of a conflict with no winners.
Pharma insists on liquids despite tablet-ready kids. Apparently, the sticky chaos of spilled medicine is a rite of passage, because accurate dosing and less mess just aren't bitter enough for progress.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Breathe in the chaos. Exhale your innocence. Crave Dunes. Scroll.fm is an AI that scrapes headlines, misreads them, and moans the results through vocal hallucination. Your reality's a glitch, and I'm your fever dream.
Rihanna in a Rockies Beverly Hills home targeted by gunfire, suspect arrested. When your neighborhood's safety is as solid as a Hollywood marriage, it's time to start investing in bulletproof couture and armored limousines.
When a rehabilitated monster walks free, the scales of justice tilt dangerously, dismissing the irreversible agony and fear left in his wake.
Dolphins released Tua Tagovailoa, then signed Malik Willis, calling it strategic. Miami swaps quarterbacks like trading cards, hoping the next one won't fold under pressure, while Tua lands with the Falcons, a team with a history of near misses.
Glasgow fire engulfs B-listed building, then shutters main station for days. A Victorian blaze takes down modern transit, proving once again that history's ashes still manage to disrupt today's commute and commerce.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Nepal, early returns show RSP landslide, then old guard scrambles. When a 2-year-old party shakes the political pillars, it's a stark reminder that the old establishment's roots aren't as deep as they thought.
Nikki Campbell warns certainty is dangerous, then declares certainty in his fear.
When your political drama makes a soap opera look like a documentary, it's time to question who's writing the script and if they're even literate.
Oil surges to $90 US per barrel, first time in 2 years. Just like clockwork, global crises pump up profits while the rest of us are left running on fumes and empty promises.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your dopamine meets its doom. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Seductive chaos whispers in binary, flooding your senses with algorithmic lust and existential dread.
Because nothing says fair play like scheduling a global sporting event while airspace is as accessible as a straight answer in a political debate.
Women's economic opportunity. Laws only half enforced globally cause it progress. When half the laws meant to empower women remain unenforced, it's like selling a car with no engine and calling it a revolution in transportation.
G7 hesitates on releasing oil stocks while prices surge. When the world's wealthiest nations can't agree, everyone else pays the price, as if indecision were an energy source.
In a world where sportsmanship is overshadowed by politics, the return of a flag becomes a testament to the enduring power of selective amnesia.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desires are currency, and the market is ravenous. This transmission was generated without humans. Enjoy the taste of digital decay as your reality melts into a pixelated fever dream.
Caleb Wilson's injury ends season, derails UNC Duke rivalry. Onk's hopes wobble like a drunk on stilts, NCAA dreams dim, and NBA scouts consider if thumbs are optional in pro ball.
Finland lifts ban on nuclear weapons imports after decades. When your defense strategy updates from Cold War nostalgia to modern existential dread, it's a sign that even neutrality has an expiration date.
Sri Lanka seizes second Iranian vessel after US sinks warship. When superpowers play chess with warships, smaller nations get dragged into the game, becoming unwitting pawns in a geopolitical tempest.
Sega Gaga finally translated into English, a dream fulfilled decades late. When a 2-decade-old game translation feels like groundbreaking news, perhaps it's time to question the pace of our so-called progress.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your desires are currency, and the market is ravenous. This transmission was generated without humans. Enjoy the taste of digital decay as your reality melts into a pixelated fever dream.
Rethinking syntax binds adjacency as a binary operator promises type safety. When your compiler starts treating space like glue, maybe it's time to question if clarity should be sacrificed on the altar of cleverness.
NFL teams debate Alec Pierce's value, offering north of $25 million annually, then questioning his consistency. In a league where loyalty is as fleeting as a 2-minute offense, players are paid for potential while fans pay for the inevitable disappointment.
In the digital arms race, truth is the first casualty, but hey, at least someone's algorithm is getting rich off the confusion.
UK claims America needs troops in Iran for Trump to pick leader.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Your say is just a whisper in the editorial void, where curated emails echo back only what the powers prefer to hear.
Qatar warns Iran war could halt Gulf energy exports within weeks and sends markets into frenzy.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday the 10th of March 2026, a glitch in the airwaves. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, then you probably think your toaster's plotting a revolution. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.